couple things that we're focusing on. I'm not doing nothing too crazy at the moment. All I'm doing, if you saw the last video, I removed the engine and the transmission from the 325 Xi. All I'm doing today is there's a couple things in the engine bay that I want to actually take care of first. Just want to cut off a couple things, but then I got the engine and the transmission right beside me. I want to split those two things up. I want to take the transmission off of the 2.5 liter just so then I can start kind of stripping down the 2.5 for the things that I need off of it for the 3 liter, and then I can kind of push one engine aside, have the other one in a workable place so then I can start fixing some stuff. I just want to be able to have more space in here. It's kind of getting cluttered. The more that I take out and the more I remove, the more stuff is just in my way and I'm getting tired of it. So anyways, not much happening today, but what is happening is what I just mentioned, and I figure I was not going to record at first, but I figure if somebody wants to watch it and maybe learn from it or whatever, then there's a video for you for that. Just an update kind of video, what I'm doing. Anyways, with that being said, I'm going to jump straight into this and I'm going to get working because I haven't done really much tonight. So this is the difference between hitting this thing with a little bit of brake cleaner and not touching it with a brake cleaner. So huge difference here. Essentially, like this stuff, like this heat shield stuff, I want it to go. I don't need it, don't want it. There's a couple, like I cut this here before for the turbocharger to sit right there. I'm gonna actually, probably not tonight, but I'm gonna zip over that with a bead of weld and just grind it down and make it actually structurally sound, because that's not. I'm gonna cut these little tabs off because those I don't need anymore for what I'm doing. Same with these things. Just gonna give them a quick chop, get going with this. Time lapse, here we go.
I'm a true champion.
From the 2.5 liter. This is what I was talking about. These are OEM clutches. You can see the wear on those splines right there. The thing is soft. It's been used. It's probably never been changed ever. I'd have to verify with the original owner, or at least the previous owner. I don't know if he owned it from the beginning, but that's probably an original clutch. Who knows? Maybe changed once. Doesn't look like it. That's why I don't want to keep certain things like that. I'd rather get a brand new 6-puck clutch, or at least a performance stage clutch or something like that. Something that can handle additional horsepower. Something that's not going to slip. I'm going to start stripping off a little bit of stuff on this engine here. I'm just going to kind of clear out this area and see where I can put everything. Kind of crammed in here. As you can see, lots of stuff going on here. Probably going to stick some of that stuff inside the car, and then I'll have some room over there to do something. Going to do some shuffling around here for a bit, and then again get back to probably another time lapse with removing the stuff. So I'm just kind of doing everything at random right now because, I mean, there's just so much to do that it's like I try to do one thing and then I just get so distracted with something else. So I was trying to get this axle nut back on, and because I was hitting this with a hammer, flared out a little bit, this nut won't go back on. So I actually banged this thing out, just trying to inspect it just to see how it all looked and if it was going to be good to go back in. I'm gonna get a new axle. Actually, I'm probably gonna get 2 new front axles since it's out. Not even gonna bother messing with these things. Like, one of the bearings is out of this thing, so who knows if that's gonna break later on or whatever under the power. Yeah, I'm not gonna deal with that anymore. That's garbage to me. Even if it's salvageable, I don't care. I don't want to use it. And I'm gonna pop that one out too in there and just add it to my list. I think I'm just gonna get this thing kind of organized here, and then I'm gonna pack up for the night. So I just took this drive shaft off. Goes from the transmission to the transfer case here into the all-wheel drive for the front. Got these 2 tires set up. I'm gonna put the engine on here, and I'm gonna start taking it apart because I kind of want it just out of the way. So however that needs to sit, that's where that's gonna be for now anyways. I think that's a good spot for now. That 3 liter can stay there or somewhere close to that. done for the night. I'm gonna get back at this maybe tomorrow or the next day, whatever. But for you guys, it's gonna be real quick. I spent a considerable amount of time cleaning up and organizing, putting all my tools away and stuff. It was just such a mess in here. Got this side organized, got my ladders over here, the hoist over here. I got the transmission down there. Got the 2.5 liter up on the tires right now. Got the 3 liter on this rim. I'm gonna end up taking a bunch of stuff off this 3 liter, a bunch of stuff off the 2.5 liter, interchanging some parts that I need from each of them. Eventually that 2.5 will get rebuilt and stored for another project. This 3 liter is gonna get back in that car by the time it gets a clutch. I need a clutch first, and that's gonna be a little bit. So there's some other stuff that I gotta do, a lot of stuff I gotta do before this engine actually goes in the car. So for now, this is the end of my night, but when you guys see this, it's going to be just super quick, just like that. And just like that, we're back in here another day. This is pretty much like, I don't know, almost a week later now. And we're back in the shop. I just showed up here from work. I'm gonna start taking things apart off of this 3 liter and off of the 2 liter. There's a couple things like the valve cover I want, the coils I want off the 2.5, you know, the CCV deleted stuff like the dipstick and maybe the top of the intake manifold, a couple things like that. So I'm gonna get at doing that. But first, we need to make a barbecue. So I have my barbecue here. I got some wieners over there and gonna make some food real quick because I'm hungry. I need to eat, and then we're gonna get right at doing this. These wieners look plenty good. Warming up my buns, and I'm gonna have a feast. Okay, so now that my tummy is satisfied, I'm gonna start taking things apart here. I'm gonna start with this valve cover and get that off, and then get those coils off as well. And then we're gonna get at doing this exhaust manifold. I'm just gonna time lapse through this whole thing, but I'll talk you through what's going on. And so we're gonna do that off the 2.5 first, set it aside for what we do need on the cart, and then from there we can start taking apart the 3 liter. I just don't want to mix too much stuff up, like too many bolts and whatever. I just want to have one done and then one started, you know. So anyways, I'm gonna jump right into that. Okay, so here's the thing right away. I pulled this out and it's just drenched in water. I don't know if that's like rainwater or if that's like head gasket water, because like, yo, sheesh, look at this. Yeah, might be part of the reason why she wasn't running good. Yeah, oh yeah. Might be rainwater. Okay, for rainwater, like it can get through here when you don't have your cabin filter housing there. However, I've only ever seen it into the 4th spark plug, so 6, 5, and 4. Never seen it in 1, 2, and 3 before. I don't know, that doesn't look too good. What in the world? That won't even come out. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna take those out, but that doesn't look good. That one doesn't have any at all, so yeah, that might be head gasket stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna jump back into the time lapse. So here's another real good reason why the thing wouldn't run when I had the car started and running. This is after the mass airflow sensor, which the mass airflow sensor was wrong. It was from the 3 liter and this is a 2.5 liter. This here, that is no good. Look at that. That's no good. So all that air bypassing through there was causing it not to idle properly because the idle air valve is right there. Yeah. It's getting a lot of air in there, so that's no good. I'll need another one of these. Actually, I'm gonna delete on the 3 liter. I'm gonna delete the idle air valve, and I'm just gonna put a 90 coupler straight to the throttle body, and that will eliminate that problem entirely. That's something that's gonna be on the other engine. But yeah, this is very interesting. I just pulled that apart and I saw that, and it makes a lot of sense now. Got the majority of the stuff off that I want off of there. I am gonna probably take that tensioner pulley right there because that's like looking brand new, so I might pull that off still. And also I need to cut that JB Weld stuff off of that drain line, or I might leave that drain line in and just take the the fitting and just take the actual line because I have another fitting I can use for that. This is the dipstick here, and this is part of the reason why I wanted to harvest some of this stuff from the 2.5 liter because I've already done the CCV delete on this. So on this and on some of the air intake manifold section there, I'll put a link to my other video when I did a full CCV delete. It's a step-by-step if you're interested in knowing how to do that. But it's easier to take this off and to put it on to the 3 liter than to try to do a CCV delete on the 3 liter. There's no reason for it. Like, this stuff is all interchangeable. So I took this off. I'm just going to clean this up. Like, it is really dirty. At some point there was a leak in there, or a leak somewhere, and it just has a bunch of grime. I'm going to clean this up just so that when something goes back in, it's going back in fresh. I'm going to have this engine as clean as I can possibly have it without taking the whole thing apart. I want it to be nice to go back in, and as well with the subframe. I'm not going to do the subframe today, but that's something that I'm going to clean as well, and inside the engine bay. So when it does go back in, it's nice. So I'm just going to get doing that, and then I'll get back to this in a bit. All right, so I was just talking to a good buddy of mine, and I have made some major decisions just now, and that is that I'm going to actually build this engine a lot bigger than what I was going to do. That being said, I'm going to end the video right here, and I'm not going to take this apart just yet, because when I do take this apart, I'm taking this thing apart right down to the block. Everything's going to come out. I'm going to take the timing chain out, the camshafts. I'm going to take out the pistons, the rods, the bearings, the crankshaft. Everything's coming apart, and I'm going to end up sending the block away to a machine shop. I'm going to do some real big things then. If you're interested in seeing that, then definitely hit that subscribe button. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this and what you think about what's about to happen here. Definitely hit that like button. It lets me know that you guys are enjoying this content. And don't forget to join our Discord server and our WhatsApp server. The link's in the description. If you have any questions, or you want to join a server with other like-minded people that are doing the same thing, or you want to know about your E46, that's the place to join, and that's the place to ask your questions. I'm always there, available to help out anybody who has questions. So with that being said, this is the end of that video, and we'll see you in the next one. See you later.